is starting. Alright, looks like we're live. And I guess I'm going to start. Whoops, I have the jet on for some reason. Let's take a look here. Where was I? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's write down. I have Excel here, but I don't want to shut it off. Let's I already got the blocks and stuff written down. I just need to see what I need. I don't know what minimum I'm going to do in terms of blocks, so that's probably going to be separate. Again, we separate all those. Then we add the engines. Then we add the generator, then the blocks. Actually, I think we do the blocks first. No, probably not. I'm probably not going to do these, even though they do cost a fairly decent amount of, well, they only cost 1 CPU per, so... Assuming that we were going to use something along the lines of this, and this, and this. And our locker room area will have, like, the armors and stuff, probably. Instead of this area, which is for my carrier. So let's write down our... In fact, I probably don't even need to do that. Let's go take a look. This area is going to count as a locker. I'm going to go over here and spread this out because we need either a locker room or something else. See, assuming we have something, I just wanna make a locker room. There's no other reason to do it. There's no reason for me to do it like that. But I just want it to look like there's a place where people go to get their stuff. I also need to paint this. But I can always do that later. So let's take a look. That's not a locker. How about the shares? I guess I'll be using this since it's so big. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, maybe not that one. That's too big. Anyway. Gonna have some lockers and showers, basically. I think that's what it's gonna be. We're gonna have a locker room and shower. Okay. So, toilets. Gonna put you probably over here. Get our toilets here. Actually, well, no. Let's see. Have this right here. Have our sinks, our bathroom vanities, I should say. And our showers over here, maybe. Although, to be fair, this might be a little too small. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add our showers. And again, it's going to be a spacing of something along the lines of this. Way in, and that's going to be our shower room. I want the lockers to be right next to it, so let's see. Something along the lines of here. I mean, it can always be in the center there. Like, this could be in between doors and stuff, and we'll have a locker room in the center. It'd be probably better if I just used that, because that has, like, I think 40 lockers. Then again, might as well go with 20 instead. Let's see. It's number 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You know what? We'll do it like this. 1, 2, 3. And that's 6. That's 12 over there. So another one over here then. Now I can probably just put this in a hallway instead. That would make things a little bit easier for me. Oh well. Well, I don't know. It's probably fine. Showers must always be covered though. There. Here we have our shower room, our compository, a bunch of these things here. We have these beds. And these beds. So I think we're good when it comes to that. And I think... Don't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's probably going to be 6 CPU. This is going to be 12 CPU points. Because each... There's no reason for this to be a thing, but the furnishings and the tech equipment, they all cost CPU. That is absolutely unacceptable that it costs CPU. But it costs CPU points. There's no reason for that to be a thing. None. Absolutely none. That's very unacceptable. But they did that for some reason. I actually need to add ventilators. Yeah, I need to add ventilators and doors and stuff. Just to make sure that we're not screwing anything up. Oh well, I can always put them in last. So we have our locker room. It might end up being a hallway, so we could spread this out instead. And these will be nice and spread out. And something that might be a little closer, I guess. Raise this up I'll be perfectly honest. I kind of just want to play. I've been doing this for so long. For well over a week now. I just want to play some more video games instead of building. Because I have my frigate and my SVs and my Luzon class cruiser. Which, in all honesty, I need to improve that one. Oh, to be perfectly honest, that one's kind of ugly. And I need a carrier. Or something. But the Luzon class cruiser will do just fine. She works well, she can raid enemy ships. And that's about all I care about. I do need a carrier to carry all of that, though. Alright, so we have this variation and this variation. I'm not adding a ceiling because I had no idea how I'm going to be doing this, but yeah. I don't understand why all that appears as I go a few feet away. The deco distance is far. No, I can't make it any farther. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's raise this a bit. Alright. I need... Whew. Excuse me. So I'm probably not gonna even write these down in terms of CPU. Maybe I can do that later if I figure out how many I want. But for now, what I want to figure out is how many turrets I want. How many fuel tanks I might want. These fuel tanks don't matter much in terms of CPU, and I wish they did. They don't matter at all. They only matter in terms of mass. See that? Like, this one costs less in terms of mass than this one. And SU, apparently. 180, 199. But it doesn't matter in terms of CPU. And I don't like that. But anyway, here's fuel tanks. We might go with T3s. And just have a few T2s in the hangar. That's kind of what I want to do. Tank T2. There's the and I got my eye. It might end up bigger than the Luzon class. We just want to put one hangar in there after all. And I wouldn't even know where to put it. I could put it at the bottom like I do everything else. But there's still the turrets. So let's see, how much fuel do I want? Let's clear this off. Let's see. 6,000 times 10 is about 60,000. I think my Luzon class cruiser had like 80,000 or something. We'll figure out if we want a T2 generator or several large generators. Maybe a small generator. In fact, we should probably write this all down. Uh, let's write down the fuel tank, how much that cost. Actually, let's go to display. Go to video, windowed. Full screen window. No, that did nothing. It says full screen window. Well, maybe if I went... I might have to restart. If that doesn't do anything, I might just, Actually, let's get... Nah, I want a borderless window. You know what? It's not worth my time. Let's just take a look at... Okay. I'm better off using my laptop at this point. But it takes time to set up. So let's just write it down then. So... Name... CPU... PU... And... Wait. So now we have that. Let's go take a look. The name of it. What are we adding? The fuel tank. It cost... Fuel T2. It costs 675 CPU. The PU is 1. And the weight is 2.51 tons. A fuel T3. Fuel T3. Okay, it's a CPU of 1500, a PU of 1, and about mass of 3.57 tons. Okay, let's see. What else? What else? What else? Ow. Well, let's go take a look at this. Maybe, how about the O2 tank? I don't know if I'll do a small O2 tank, but we'll take a look at that. Large O2. It has a CPU of 200, costs 5 PU, and O2 capacity of 2000. So don't know how many of those I want. But the mass is 810 kilograms. 810 kilograms. Let's change that to tons. 0.81. 0.81 tons. Okay. Where's the other O2 tank? I wonder if I should put some constructors in it. Where's the other O2 station? Here it is. Okay. Small O2 is... It has a CPU of 100. What was the point? A power of 5. And it weighs 0.55 tons. Okay, we might add these. Cost 5 PU and I think 1 CPU. Let's see. What else? What are the essentials do we need to look at? I mean, I should probably just write these down too as well. I don't know about the hangar doors. We might do that. Anyway, small generator. Small generator has a CPU usage of 312. Let's see. Has a decent output of 2.5 kPu and its mass is 1.48 tons. Okay. Large generator. Large generator. Let's see. Has a CPU of 3125. It has a mass of 13.4 tons. And large generator T2. It costs 22,500 CPU and it weighs 37.4 tons. So assuming that we are getting, I'd say, 3 of these, which doesn't really tell you how much it would cost, but you get 3 of those, have probably some shutters, and you get the weight of that. I think the CPU varies. And we could add this, but it costs like 50,000. The repair bay, it costs 50,000. That's more than this thing. So we might want to put that in as optional. This one has spotlights. This one has a teleporter. We might put a teleporter in there. What about you? 320 SU. Hmm. And we should just look at what we're going to be putting in first. I don't know about ammo box, but ammo boxes are really cheap though. Probably wouldn't hurt to have one. Essentials, right? We'll take. Let's just go back to here, man. Okay, warp drive. So the warp drive has a CPU cost of 40,000. It costs 25 power points or whatever you call that. And the weighs 82.2 tons. We should probably come up with how many guns we want it. So there's polarized hull shield, right? A polarized. We'll just name it as shields because I can't fit that on one line. We'll call it shield. And she costs 33,100 CPU. Has a fairly decent HP capacity compared to everything else anyway. And let's see. She weighs how much? She weighs 14.6 tons. So let's look at the pentaxes. Doesn't cost any power. I just need to see how much CPU that cost. So pentaxid tank. It's got 400 CPU, 2.47 tons. I need to know decals control unit. What? Well, that's interesting. What do we want to look at other than Pentaxa tank? I guess it's the RCSs. They are way too expensive for their own good. But honestly, we'll probably only have one RCS T2, or just put a bunch of RCSs in it. Just stuff in a bunch of them, because this thing costs how much? 1.250 million CPU. Might as well just put one of those in, and everything else can be like a bunch of RCSs. In fact, we'll just write that down first, so we don't forget about it. Everything else we should probably look at in the mass. It is an absolute struggle for me to keep my eyes open. For whatever reason. We do need spotlights. I need to set up lights for that. Hang on. I keep moving my mouse. I keep moving everything under my desk. I do need to take a look at the gravity generator, so I guess might as well take a look at that. So, gravity generator. It is... The CPU cost is affordable, so that's good. Costs 50. The power it costs is 100. It weighs 6.5 KSU. Alright. So, RCS is next. The RCS, wired on every vessel, The RCS costs ND 5,000 CPU, 25 PU, and it weighs 16 tons. Huh, that's pretty good. The RCS, let's see, I don't know where I'm going to be putting that, but the RCS T2. It cost 1.250000. The power this thing costs is about 50. And it weighs 19.2 tons. Alright, what else do we need? I'm not gonna measure the lights. I do need to add lockers and armor lockers and stuff. Gosh, this is so difficult to look at. Maybe I should just look at it in terms of CPU and not add the tons, but I kinda want to make sure that I'm not putting it in as way too heavy. The armored doors cost a very decent amount of CPU, so we're going to be putting those on basically the entrances to this thing. Everything else is going to be the automatic doors. But they don't tell you for some reason. And that really bugs me. I hate that so much. Let's go take a look at the cost of these. They don't tell you how much they cost in CPU. Let's just put one on here. Okay, the hangar doors, 48. How much is the bigger one? Like a 9x5. Because that's how wide of a ship I need. So, or a small vessel, I should say. Costs 41. I'll just leave you there. Okay. Okay, well, let's just look at the most expensive door. Preferably one with the most health. That cost... I only have one door on here, right? It says 49. It says I have two doors. Where is it, the other one? Is it in here? Hang on. Let's put it over here. I don't think I have a door here. Alright. It has one door. The armored automatic door costs 8 CPU. It's for later reference. Let's keep looking. What am I adding? What other essentials do I want? I need to look at cargo. Should I add ammo boxes? Should I add ammo boxes? I mean, they are cheaper, but I feel like I'd only do that for certain guns that I want to use. So I guess I'll have like 2 ammo boxes. And everything else can be have something to do with this. Or I could have 4, and one of those ammo boxes can be for my 30 mil and my 15 mil, and I think that would be good. Okay. I don't know if I want to look at cargo first. We'll just look at the O2 station. So essentials or non-essentials. O2 station. The O2 station costs 200 CPU. So we're probably only gonna have one of those, and we're gonna put that in the armory maybe. That or in the hangar. Oh, we could have 4. It doesn't matter. One in the hangar, one in the armory, and I don't know. One near the bridge. That would make 3 O2 stations. And it costs 2 PU. Weighs 0.595 tons. I don't know how many elevators I'll be using because I don't know how big it's going to be. All I know is I need to make it big enough so that I can put a lot of guns. Let's keep looking. So we got the O2 station. Now let's look at. We'll probably add some cargo boxes. How much is the cargo box again? Doesn't tell you because they're being a great big pain in the ass. Okay, it cost 1920. Or we could use these, which have significantly less room, but they're just for being placed in my armory. I'll probably not use that. I'll probably use these. The basic storage container, or these. Either one that's, because the armory, this costs 480 CPU, weighs 300, weighs 500. Gosh. There's no reason for this to be so expensive, but it is. Anyway. I'm probably never going to use that. This one I will make. So, cargo box 3, 1920 CPU. I hate that so much. The fact that it costs so much CPU. Costs 1 power, and I guess we'll go with the cargo pallet 3 or this one. Go with the cargo pallet 2. And it's 480 CPU. Costs 1 power. Weighs 300 kilograms. 0.3 tons. This one weighs 0.5 tons. Okay, this one is a, let's see, 5 by 2 by 5. This one's 5 by 4 by 5. And why are you a 4 by 4 by 5? Because you go in deep. Like, you go in really deep. That's for where I'm going to be placing you. Holy cow. Should I make it like a battleship or make it wider? Because I feel like it should be made wide enough to be able to fly around. That way everything will be spread out a bit more and they'd be less likely to get hit. It is a battle carrier after all. Or a battleship, not a battle carrier. Luzon class is more of a battle carrier. It's not going to fight a cruiser or anything. I mean, to be honest, she'd be very damaged if she did. Alright. Where was I? Cargo boxes. Armor lockers. Repair station. Gonna be perfectly honest, I'm probably not even going to do a repair station other than this. But repair bay, it's so expensive that I don't know if I want to bother. But I'm gonna write it down anyways, just in case. So I want some constructors, right? We'll probably go with... Gosh, that's expensive as well. I guess we'll go with one advanced constructor and... Where are you? A couple of these. We can probably go with 6. I mean, that's a bit expensive, but... Yeah, we can bring that down to 4. Should be fine with 4. What about this one? Normal crafting speed, fast crafting speed. Alright, armor locker. Doesn't even tell you because they don't think it's worth mentioning, but I think it's worth mentioning. Buddy, the volume, the mass, please, come on. Golly. Why did they have to make it so difficult? Alright. The armor locker costs 1 CPU. They don't tell you how much it weighs? It doesn't give you a mass. Why doesn't it give you a mass? Okay, let's take a look at the statistics. 15.3, 15.7. So an armor locker, for some reason they don't tell you, but an armor locker is, it says 15 point, it weighs 0.4 tons. Why don't they tell you? Okay, we got our armor locker. We'll have a repair station. We'll have, it'll cost 2,500 CPU. And 150 PU. Weighs 1.07 tons. Medical station. We'll just probably medical devices. So I'm going to go on a limb that costs how much? Let me go back to here. Close it. Other things. Medical station. Medical. So it costs 2 CPU for the first one, and everything else is basically 1. So 2 CPU, probably about 1 power. It won't tell you. It's probably 10. Let me check. Probably 5 then. Let's go with 5. Weighs 1.35 tons. I'm gonna look at everything and it's killing me mentally. Can't forget about the clone chamber. This gives us no CPU. Or at least that's what it must be claiming. There's no reason for you to not display how much CPU this costs. None. Because it just makes things harder for everyone. It makes it harder for me, it makes it harder for the players. Makes people not want to even bother with building anything. Because how hard it is to plan. How little information this thing provides and the wiki provides is atrocious. There's no reason to make it so difficult for people to research all this. It should be done in a click of the button. I want to dead that Wikipedia because it has not been updated at all. Nobody has been updating it, and I had no idea what I'm doing half the time because of that. I mean, look at this, 530,000. That's a very decent amount of power. How many large thrusters do I want? I have no idea. This will cost me more than 2 million alone. And then I still need these. How many of those will I make? We'll have 8? We'll have 4? I was looking at the clone chamber, right? Fridges. I'm about to go over the line. So the fridges cost doesn't even give you the CPU on the fridges. So I'm gonna grab that. Go to here. This is obnoxious. It's 120. You don't want to bother telling me that? They're all 120 across the board. How much power does it cost? It cost. It cost. It cost. It cost. It cost. It costs 5 PU. The weight is 1.75 tons. No, wait. 150 kilograms. Or 0.15 tons. What about the kitchen? Here it is, the food processor. It costs 200 CPU. About 300 power. Weighs 0.31 tons. Oh, that upsets me. Let's just go ahead and... Cause I still need the cargo and stuff. Why make this so difficult to do? Yeah, let's go to the Wikipedia. Maybe they updated it. I don't know. Found our hopelessly regarding mid to late game ores on the wrong planets, old POI info, etc. Is there a guide? Ideally, I'd like to see guides to newer POIs, maybe some multiplayer tactics. So let's go. I don't know. Let's just. Everything I'm trying to do is such a pain. How much? Okay, let's see. Mass, range, damage. Right, but it doesn't even tell you how much CPU it needs. It tells you how much power it costs. But the CPU, no. Who needs to know how much CPU you need? I don't need to know. Nobody cares about you. Please, just... Please, let me add more information. CPU. And we'll add, well, I'm going to add that. Let's see. None of these add CPU. None of them. Okay, the CPU for this thing. It's a plasma turret, right? Let me grab this. Because people want to know what the CPU is. The CPU is 20,700. There. Honestly, I'm really getting sick of this. Anyway, what else have I not written down? Let's get OBS back up. So we got the food processor. We get that's the kitchen and stuff. We got the armory set up. We got to take a look at our constructors and stuff. Let's take a look, because we still need constructors. So, should we do constructors? We'll take a look at constructors first. Name, CPU, and let's see. Power, weight. So our advanced ADV is 40,000. CPU, that's a lot of power. 1.5 KPU, or 1,500. So it weighs 13.8 tons. Okay, small constructor. Small constructor is 10,000 CPU. Costs 250 PU. It weighs about 1.66 tons. What about the spotlights? We probably should try to get to know what the spotlights are. There's also the blast doors. Will I be adding any blast doors? I don't know. But they are nice. Might as well write that down. Wait, hang on. What else? We still need to look at the containers. Then we'll, I don't know. Look at blocks, because these are pain to make. It's the container controller. It has 960 CPU. Costs 10 PU. And it weighs 0.625 tons. The container extension again, not wait. Okay, again, it costs 960. So these are so overly expensive. 1 PU has a mass of 0.616 tons. And these are basically the same. So now we'll look at the repair station, wireless controller, light, and detector, maybe? Yeah, probably should. I mean, I should look at these as well, but they're 1 CPU, 1 PU, and they weigh so little that, I don't know. We'll probably come up to ending up weighing a ton by the time we're finished with the lights. Then again, we might not put them there at all. Wait, where was I? The, repair bay. The CPU cost is 50,000. And it's 20 KPU. Weighs 11.8 tons. And the repaired console has a CPU of 2500, 5 PU, and 0.630 tons. Now that we have that done, what about it? Yeah, we should get a teleporter as well. Teleporter. It costs 20,000 CPU, 6 KPU. Gosh, this is expensive, isn't it? And 2.5 tons. Yeah, I'm going to need several generators like this in order to power some of these. Because that is expensive. 4.6, 12.4, and this one's like 180 KPU. I do not need 2 of those, so I'm just going to grab a bunch of these. And we'll use that so I can power these, which is 12.4 kpu, might add. So 2 of these would power 2 of these probably. Everything else, 4 or 6 of these would probably do us some good. Oh boy. Okay, where was I? Teleporter. We got our teleporter. Now we can look at the stuff nobody wants to care about. Okay, the wireless connector doesn't tell you. I don't know why. It costs 2 CPU. Okay, that's 2 CPU. The amount of power that costs. Let's go back. It costs 10 PU and about 0.16 tons. And okay, detector. A detector costs 1500 CPU, 320 power or PU. I don't even know what that stands for. Maybe I should look at that up. And the mass is 3.52 tons. Okay, let's look up let's just look that up. So wait, what was I looking up? Oh, the PU. Empyrion. What does PU stand for? Is it power units? I guess it's called a power unit. Okay. PU. We're just gonna call it power unit then. That's probably what it's called. Alright, let's get back to what we were doing. And not die of exhaustion from this, because this is killing me mentally. Because I honestly, this is abysmal. Okay, spotlights. That is it doesn't give you the CPU, so I'm gonna have to set that down somewhere. But it costs 5 PU and it weighs 0.085 tons. And how much power does, or how much CPU does that cost? It costs 1. Thank you. This, well, it's kind of worthless to me, so I don't really care. Let's see. Uh, Alright, we'll take a look at the cockpits. They don't give you the CV for some reason. Wait, should I look at those first, or should I look at something else? All I know is there's the weight. Might be looking at something like that. Let's see. So the cockpit costs 4 CPU. What about this one? 4 CPU. So, well, it costs power too. So I should probably write that down. The cockpit, 4 CPU points, 20 PU, and 0.1 tons. Alright. What else? Oh, I was looking at the passenger seat. Where are you, passenger seat? See how much you cost. Passenger seat costs 1 CPU, so that's good. One CPU. See how much. Has a mass of 72 kilograms. Or 0.072 tons. Doesn't tell you how much it costs in terms of power, though. Okay, it probably doesn't cost anything in terms of power, so I'm going to leave that be. And what about doors? Did I remember doors? What a... Something along the lines of blocks. I think, oh, I do need to look at ventilators, don't I? Alright. Ventilators. They cost 20 PU and they weigh 0.166 tons. They don't tell you how much they cost in terms of CPU. So I'll go to CPU statistics. It costs 1. Look at this, 499,679. So that's pretty good. So, where are the doors? Here it is. There's a armored door. There should be a regular door in there somewhere. I guess if I put this right here, it will tell me. Should I'm looking at the ventilators. I really don't want to do this right now. This is a pain. What about boarding ramps? Let's take a look at boarding ramps. Like a 5x4x6. Take a look at that. Boarding ramp. It doesn't tell you because this is considered a door. That's not very nice. Alright, we'll put you right here then. Okay, boarding ramps. It costs 60 CPU. This one weighs more though. I mean, they vary. Like the 5x4x9. How's the 5x4x9? But there's I can't make a 10 by with this thing. I mean, there's this, but it looks like I'm only gonna be able to make a 5x4x6. I hate that so much. I mean, there's also the 8x6x12. I can't make these even though. I want to. No, you know what? I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. It weighs how many tons? So this one weighs 25.8 tons. I am so tired. Maybe I should just start from the top left down all the way down to the bottom right. Because this is killing me. And look at this. This weighs 3.23 tons. If I were to put like 4 of these, that would be like 12. Almost 13. The more I try to play this, the more depressed it makes me. Alright. So I got the border. We might as well just look at the doors right now. How much is this? I think it was a 9x5. 9x5 hangar door. It costs 41 CPU. Oops, how much power does that cost? Let's go to devices. Okay, it costs 1 PU somehow. 41 costs 1 PU, has a mass of 10.7 tons. Okay, 9x5 hangar door. Let's see. We'll either do that or we'll do this. But you know, hang on. We could just do the ramps. Then again, the ramps only go a certain size. I'm sorry? Why did you not... Okay, yeah, it's shorter, so I'm not even gonna bother with that. We will have this. Unfortunately. We'll have this, but we'll have to have some ramps under it. So let's go put this right here. It's probably a 3x4, maybe a 3x5. No, 3x4. I just need to look at the max weight. Doesn't tell you the CPU for some reason. So hangar door. That heavy ramp thing, or whatever you call it. Actually, let me go check. It is a boarding ramp. Boarding ramp. Let's see. It is... How much CPU was that? Let me go back. I'm probably gonna have it wider than this, though. So the boarding ramp is... It is 25 tons. It costs 1 PU. Let's go to the CPU. And it costs 60. And we can't forget about the ramp here. So, the ramp. It just says doors. Why is that considered a door? There's no reason for this to be considered a door. Can't even put it right there. I'll just get rid of this, put you right here. Okay. The ramp costs 5 CPU. It probably cost 1 PU somehow, and it weighs 0.790 tons. Now we're just going to look at the regular old doors, like this one. The armored door, it is... the power it costs us 1. It weighs 910 tons. The CPU statistics of that door is 8. Cost 8 CPU. Lovely. Okay, over here we have our regular old door. It cost... Door. Cost 3 CPU. Not counting the windows or anything, but this one costs 3 CPU, probably weighs much less. It's 0.2 kilograms. I'm tired. I'm only well over an hour into this. I'm tired. Because basically what I'm doing is an awful lot of math. An awful lot of math. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing math. Math and physics. This entire game has, for some odd reason, convinced me to do physics, and more physics, and it's driving me insane. Okay, but I think I got all the doors. Forget the lights, I'm not gonna do that. Forget the blast doors, I'm probably not going to do that. Maybe for a CV, but no, not for this. Alright. So, should I look at guns or the thrusters? Let's just look at this. The thrusters... Small... CPU... Power... And, weight. The small one costs... Where are those small thrusters? Oh, here it is. Thrusters... Small... It costs 5,336 CPU. I should probably add the force. The amount of force it gives. So the amount of power that costs is 450. It weighs 2.36 tons. And the force is 7.20 meganewtons. Okay. The medium costs 13,340 CPU. Has a cost 720 PU. And 9.5 tons. The force is 18.1. Meganewtons. Honestly, I should probably do it like that so I don't have to write that part down. And the large cost 133,400. The power it costs is 4.61 kPu, and it weighs 14.8 tons with a force of 192. The thruster XL, extra large, 533600. 12.4 KPU. And 62.9 tons. And 920 meganewtons. Alright. I think I got everything I need. I haven't gotten the plots or anything. How many plots I want or anything. I do want a room for plots, though. It can be however big as we want it. Alien building blocks and the Xeno building blocks. Is Xeno still blocks allowed in a BP? Let's see. Wait. I have to see how much health that has. Oh, that's 2,750 compared to an armored steel block. It's gotta go all the way down here. The combat steel block costs 2,000, costs 40 CPU, weighs 4 tons. The Xeno steel block weighs 2.6 tons, has hit points of 2,750, and let's see. Cost. Whew. Excuse me. It costs 49 CPU. That's nice. Alright. What do I not have? We could go with heavy patterned windows. I mean, they don't cost as much. I mean, they don't cost much any different than the others. Well, probably not. Let's go to our other I think it was guns that we wanted to look at. Yeah, we were looking at the guns next because we want to know how many guns we want on there. So we'll grab you. Let's try to make it a little bit more even. I don't know about projectile turrets or tool turrets. I don't even know how much that would cost. I don't think I'll put drill module lasers. So, projectile turrets, rocket turrets maybe? Let's see. So we'll write this down. Weapons. So, let's see. Name, CPU, power, weight, and uh, damage. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like if I used Excel, I'd have a better chance of getting this all down. We'll just go on with the weight first. So the name of this is the rocket launcher. The CPU cost of this thing is 4,800. The power costs 10. The weight costs 2.49 tons. And let's see. Go to lasers. Okay. Lasers cost 7,200. But they do less damage. But they also fire at a better rate. Let's see. The power that costs is 25. And it weighs 2.72 tons. Yeah, I need to make an Excel of this. Maybe I should grab my laptop and just write it all down, and I'll just upload all that. Because this is the pain. Oh, this is painful. Okay, tool turrets. Multi-turret, drill turret. What can a drill turret be used for? I wonder. Let me go over here. Sit down here. Go to devices. I don't think it can do anything. Oh well. Let's just go back to the multi-turret. Put you here. Okay, there's salvage, repair, and retrieve. That's interesting. You know what? I could put that on the frigate, or I can make a smaller ship, a corvette. Call it the salvager. Who knows? Maybe. But I won't be putting that on. I won't be putting that on there. So we'll get rid of that. Okay. Should I add rocket launchers? I actually don't want rocket turrets, to be perfectly honest. I'll probably do plasma. Well, I don't know. I don't know the value of the rocket launchers that much. All I know is they weigh a lot more than everything else. Alright, where was I? I was looking up what type of turrets I wanted. So we did the laser. Alright. So, depending on what you want out of a ship, I honestly prefer canyon turrets over the minigun turrets. I mean, they're pretty useful. But let's see, 2500, 2500. I mean, the only difference is that this thing can, like, make it so the drones have trouble aiming. But we're going with the canyon turrets. Honestly, the miniguns are just anti-infantry anyways. So, a canyon turret retractable. This depends on what you want out of a ship, but it weighs 13.8 tons, but also has more health. So let's go take a look at the canyon turret. It has a CPU of 2500. It's a power of 5 PU, and the weight is 13.8 tons. Now we will take a look at the rocket turret. 5400 versus this guy, which is just an anti-air shell, to be honest. She shoots at a decent rate. This one has homing. The one problem with this is, let's go to guns. The 150, it costs 32 SU. The flak shell CV costs 6 SU. And the plasma CV is 20 SU. And explosion damage is extreme. Let's take a look at, let's go here. So, the rate of fire is 8. It's extremely slow, but it does an awful lot of damage. Also has a very good range, 1.05. Let's go take a look at this one. This one has a range of 1 kilometer, so they're roughly the same in terms of range, except the plasma canyon is slightly longer. This one has a rate of fire of 15. This one has a rate of fire of 8. The RPM, let's divide that by 6. It says 8 per minute, right? 60 divided by 8. It shoots like 7.5 shells a minute. The explosion damage is 14,400. Not a minute, but it fires every 7.5 seconds, I should say. But let's see. If it shoots 8 shells a minute, 14,400, then that's 115,000 damage a minute. The rocket turrets, let's go to 6. Let's see, 5,400. Okay. It has a decent explosion radius. It just does less damage a minute per minute. And honestly, I want to be able to put as many things as I can. So honestly, the rocket turrets, I don't know. Let's figure out. Let's look up, see what people online recommend. Empyrion. And I'm having to decide what turret type to use on my main destroying turrets. I did some testing and found the flight had the best CPU to damage efficiency of all types. Could simply due to the cost of rockets are very expensive to buy and require a restaurant craft, at least in vanilla. Black doesn't have range. Plasma and pulse drop shields, then missiles to knock out the turrets. I also prefer having manual options, so pulse cannons for quickly zapping a shield, and then artillery for drilling the car out. Rockets and pulse lasers have a range of around a kilometer, so can try to keep range quite far and avoid damage. Flak would put you too close. It's an anti-air shotgun that's really just for drone defense. Heavy flak cannons are the most damaged CPU efficient turrets, and they outrange laser turrets. Oh, wait. This is Eden, isn't it? Reforge? I think they're talking about Reforge. So a heavy flak turret does 90 HP per hit to combat steel. Plasma rounds are a lot cheaper. Players at the in-game stages are almost always buying their ammunition, so running around just 10 missile turret costs the same as running 70 plasma turrets per fire. So, if we're going along with cost, I say flak turrets and plasma turrets are the best way to go. If you're producing your own missiles are fine, but keep in mind their speed to target is slow, and they don't change targets after their intended target is dead. So do you really want 50 slow-moving, very expensive missiles hitting a turret that's already dead? Plasma projectiles are fast, so they are likely to fire at something which is already going to be killed, because that target will be dead within 1 to 2 seconds of plasma firing. Alright, so we're going to go with canyon turrets, pulse lasers, and flak. That's our best bet. Which means we won't be using the rocket turrets, we'll just be using our flak turrets. So let's go ahead. Honestly, I like the look of these. They just look really nice. Looks like you go in there and load them up. But instead we'll do this. Okay. Whoops, I was supposed to look at the flak turret. How much that cost. Okay, the flak turret has a decent amount of HP. Cost us... how much CPU? It costs 1300. So I'd have to get fairly close with this thing. But I think we'll be good. The flak turret does a decent amount of damage, and it has explosion radius. Alright, we'll go to... okay, 1300. The power that costs per is 5. And it weighs 13.7 tons. Pulse laser. We're definitely going to have these. They are the cheapest ever. The pulse laser. It costs 15,100. The power is 5 PU. And it weighs 16 tons. Weighs the most of all of them. This guy... Alright. She is a doozy. It's the plasma turret. She has 20,700 in cost. Costs 5 PU. And she weighs about 16.1 tons. And lastly, our lovely little... I mean, she doesn't really... This one costs 20,000. Deals damage of 14,000. These guys... What does our artillery turret do? It has a rate of fire of 9. And this guy has a rate of fire of 8. I just want to put artillery turrets because they're cool looking, but it has a shorter range out of all of them for some reason. Only functional in space. Then what's the point of having this thing? Not only is it so expensive, but it doesn't seem like it's worth it. Like, how should I use an artillery turret? Can it destroy a base? How much damage does it do? It's a 160 millimeter missile. What's the point? The explosion radius is at least 4. Well, I guess we can probably give it a try. But this thing is so massive. I was planning on putting like 2 or 4 of these. Well, 2 should be fine, but still, I'm not even sure if that's enough. She already does a lot of damage. So let's go with the artillery. She has less hit points than the plasma turret. Hang on. No, wait, never mind, she doesn't. Okay, she has more hit points, that's fine. She costs 21,600. Costs 70 PU. And she has I mean, she's like 1 point faster in terms of fire rate than the pulse laser, so I guess that's a bonus. The only downside is the range. What's the ammo capacity? 5? Okay, that's pretty good. And she weighs about 62 tons. 62.8, I should say. And I think we should should we do more planning? It's already been 2 hours. I'm tired of this. You know what? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, when your plan moves, that base is moving a bit closer. The POV. I mean, I made it so big. I wonder if you could actually. Actually, I don't think you can. I wish you could, but you can't. Yeah, I'm just gonna end this. We'll probably. Yeah, I'm just gonna end this. Yeah, I'm gonna stop this early. I do have work tomorrow, so I might as well. And we'll probably. I don't even know if I'll have time to stream tomorrow either because of work. So, yeah, we'll just end it here. Hope you guys who watch this enjoy the little math thing that I've been doing. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching, and good day.